Welcome to the Intro in Safety to the Laser Cutter. In the Fab Lab, we have three 48 by 36 full spectrum lasers. In the simplest terms, a laser cutter is a type of CNC machine. CNC stands for Computer Numerical Control. CNCs are any tool that uses computer software to control the tool. A laser cutter is a CNC manufacturing tool that uses a laser beam to cut or engrave, creating custom patterns or designs. A laser cutter can cut many different types of materials, including woods and plastics. Though we do supply safe materials for you to cut within the lab, if you decide to bring in outside materials, please make sure you get approval from the Fab Lab coordinator or a student tech within the space, because some materials may cause a health or safety concern. Now we will learn how to prepare the laser. Load your approved material and start your file in Retina Engrave. Your professor has gone over file specifics, and your laser file is ready to be vector cut and/or raster engraved. We will go over how to load your file into Retina Engrave, which is the browser-based software that runs the laser. Before you load your file, you must locate a machine. Each machine is named. Here we have Kilroy and Pedro. When you've located a machine that is not in use, find a Fab Tech or the Fab Lab coordinator and ask for the browser code that will allow you to access that machine. Each machine has a designated computer. Here is Kilroy, and there is Kilroy's computer. Turn on the machine. Notice the red button to the left. This is an emergency stop button. If you are at all concerned about the machine, if there is fire or excessive smoke, please hit the button. Locate a Fab Lab staff member and alert them to your concern. Preparing the machine. First, we are going to turn on the air compressor and ventilation. Both compressor and ventilation are located behind each machine. Here we have both switches. The ventilation is on top, the compressor is on the bottom. There are two switches you must turn on. Both switches must be turned on to ensure safety. With the ventilation and compressor turned on, you are ready to load your approved material. You're going to need to know the thickness of the material that you're loading into the bed. To do this, you're going to use a caliper to measure the material thickness. 1/8 and 1/4 are common material thicknesses within our lab. It's important to know the thickness because within Retina, we will change the parameters of the machine depending on each material. Let's take a look back at our steps. We have turned on the compressor and ventilation. We have measured the thickness of our material to change the settings accordingly in Retina. Now, we are going to lower the bed and center the laser head over our material. The laser cutter has an X, Y, and Z axis. To center the laser head over the material, you must lower the bed in the Z axis. Here we have the X moving right and left, and the Y moving top to bottom. Before you move the laser head over the material, lower the bed in the Z axis. This takes the bed and it moves it down so you can slide the material underneath the laser head. Now we are going to autofocus the machine. The autofocus button is between the X and Y axis. It's important to have the laser centered over your material before you push autofocus. When you push autofocus, the laser bed is moving up in the Z axis, creating an optimal space between the laser head and your material. With the code in hand, you are going to open up Safari, type the code into the browser. This will open up Retina, which is the software that controls the machine. To the left, you'll see projects. You are going to create a new project, type your name, and if you would like us to keep it, type keep. The white gridded space in the middle of the screen is the laser bed. It is 48 inches wide by 36 inches tall. The red dot in the center of the screen is where the laser is based currently in the machine. I have a few files that we are going to drop into our workspace. I have imported an AI or Illustrator file. It gives me the option to have raster or vector or both raster and vector information. I only want to bring over raster because I want my design, the Fab Lab, to be filled in completely. I'm unselecting vector so I can import my raster information. My design is in the folder to the left. I can toggle it down and I notice a landscape icon. This tells me that the information is indeed raster. To the right, I will see power, speed, and threshold. You will find a suggested guide at each workstation. Our material is birch plywood, 1/4 of an inch. I will search for the raster engraving settings. It is 100 speed and 40 power. I will now go into Retina and I will adjust the speed and power parameters. I see that the Fab Lab is pretty small. You can look at the size on the right-hand upper side. I am going to change the width of my logo to 5 inches, making sure that the aspect ratio is selected. With my raster file ready, I'm going to drop in the SVG, or Scalable Vector Graphic. To the left-hand side of our project area, I will see a new file. I'm going to toggle the file over and you will see a different icon. This will let you know that you are dealing with a vector graphic. You're now going to consult the sheet again and find the 1/4 inch birch plywood, but now you're looking for light cutting and etching. Adjust the speed, power, current, and passes in Retina Engrave. I'm going to go ahead and make the size of my vector graphic the same as my raster. I also would like to align both graphics together, and there are a few alignment tools in the top right corner. Now my file is ready. I'm going to drag the file down so it's a little closer to the laser head, just for reference. We have 3 more steps to go before you run your job. The first is estimated job time. Our job time is 17 minutes and 23 seconds. Then we are going to press Run the Perimeter. This takes the laser head within the machine and it travels around the area that you have decided to run your design. Walk over to the laser bed, making sure that your design is where it should be located on your material. Back at the computer terminal, stop perimeter, give it a moment to go home, and then we are going to run the job. This sends the job over to the laser. As you can see, the red dot is going around your design. Currently, it's going around the vector graphic. We can walk over to the machine and watch your job. At any time, you can pause the job or stop the job from the computer terminal or from the machine. You can also see the remaining time that you have at the bottom center of the screen. Once your job has started, walk over to the machine and observe what's happening inside of the laser. There should be no smoke or flame coming from the surface of your material. If the flame that you observed is higher or brighter than this one, or if there is excessive smoke, or if the machine is making a noise, please push the emergency stop button and alert a fab tech or coordinator of your concern. Because of the nature of the laser, You must stay with your job the entire time it is running. You must account for the entire time the job will take to run and never leave your laser unattended. This is very important. The fire extinguisher is located in the CNC room. You will never be alone in the space. We always have a Fab Lab employee staffed during open access hours. Our studio safety emergency sheets are located near the entrance. Before you start your first job, please refer to the sheets that we have available to you at each station. It shows you step by step how to load your material and start your job. When your job is complete, open the laser lid. Lower the bed in the Z-axis. Carefully slide your material out, and congratulations, your job is done.